Most important one to come as chief guest. So I was interested to find out what is the gap, what is lacking. And I had an engagement with them one time through a dialogue talking about academia, industry, and government linkages. What came out was a set of observations. One, that these graduates cannot be trusted at the workplace. That's a very serious issue. That they cannot be trusted at the workplace. They have weak business spirit, loyalty, and passion. They have weak professionalism. They have weak practical skills, insufficient experience, weak cognitive and social emotional skills, and unrealistic salary and job expectations, in addition to poor time management and failure to work to deadlines, poor customer care skills. They don't care about the customers, and yet in the industry, the customer is key. You must treat them well. Failure to work in teams, weak reporting and communication skills. And this is rampant amongst our students, among our graduates. The other day I got a letter from a student complaining about a number of things. And he wrote to me a 2-page letter. That 2-page letter did not have a full stop. It did not have a comma. It did not have a paragraph. He just poured all his frustration on paper. And I called the dean. I said, "Is this your student?" And the dean said, "Yes." Then I said, "We must have a bigger problem than I thought." But universities don't teach people how to write letters. That's one other thing the employer said, that these graduates cannot even write an application letter. The universities don't teach how to write application letters. So really we must look at the whole education system from the beginning to the university, so that we can give these people, and some of these skills are not taught. They are acquired along the way. One of the areas they talked about is that these fellows are disrespectful. They don't know how to respect authority. They don't even greet when they meet you. That's a simple thing, but it shows you the emotional skills of this person. I remember when we were going to school, they used to beat us for not greeting teachers from another school whom we meet every day. And we had to greet them because we were very stubborn. So we used to greet them at lunch table, and when they are riding on a bicycle, some of them don't hear you properly. So we used to say, "Ninye sebo," they say "Ego," meaning "Am I the sir?" Then they say students having fun. But the whole thing was you must greet people when you meet them. And these skills are not available all around. Another area I want to comment on briefly is research. We are talking about research collaboration with industries. But industries will be interested in the research in the universities if there is something coming out of the universities that they can use to increase their profitability. If there is nothing coming out, they will not collaborate with you. Through engagements with them, he told us that one, universities don't understand how industries operate. That they are too bureaucratic. They take too long to make decisions. You understand, decisions in universities are made through committees. Same thing with the Council for Education. So it takes long to make a decision. And industries cannot wait. And then, in order for us to increase the research output from our universities, we must be deliberate about producing PhDs in our institutions. This may sound elitist, but there is evidence through many studies that there is a clear positive correlation between the number of PhDs in an institution and the research output from that institution. In terms of publications, the peer-reviewed journals, publications in the high-impact journals, patents, and small and medium enterprises are rising out of innovations.
These conferences, when we are not there, we are key players, and we would like you to address certain things, because literally science, technology, and innovation lies idle. It lies idle in our nation as a sleeping giant. If we can only connect, then we will be able to address easily the issues of employability and innovation very, very easily. Some of the issues that have been hinted on, I will not go so much into them in this address, but some of them I will address in the keynote. However, one issue I wish to talk about, to mention here, is the structures of the universities, which make it very difficult for us to be continuously evolving. Whereas universities are autonomous in their curriculum under the guidance of the National Council, we seem to have built brick walls around those systems, such that we are not as, how do I call it? We are not as flexible. We are not moving with the speed of knowledge generation. We are not moving, our curriculum is not evolving as fast as knowledge generation is happening, as fast as technology is happening. Because we set up these structures and we encase ourselves with them. When I was in West Africa, I was quite impressed. After the first year, Ebola was introduced into the curriculum from basic education level to higher education level, just like that. The first exams they did after opening their schools had Ebola. But here we have set up very complicated systems which sustain the ivory tower concept. The ivory tower mindset, where there's so much knowledge into the university, a lot of it just doesn't have holes to leak into the communities surrounding us. I hope this is one of the issues, because the employers are changing their needs daily. They cannot wait for you to implement a particular curriculum for 5 years, then evaluate. By then, they are on the 4th or 5th level of technology. So by the time you try to, the people you're bringing out, they don't have the knowledge and skills. So we should be producing, at this point, by the time somebody is entering the university, we are even forecasting what's going to happen. And we are including that. And the technical team delivering should be modifying content. I hope we no longer have the concept of yellow notes. Younger people may not understand the concept of yellow notes. Yellow notes arose from when lecturers used textbooks, and you are in the 1980, but the textbook is 1965, 1970. So there is really no need to update the notes. So year after year, the lecturer writes the notes once. And year after year, they just speak. And with exposure to the environment, the paper turns yellow. But now that we are computerized, I hope that we are quickly updating what we are teaching. So one of the issues on how do we address employability is exactly in the second part of the theme, innovation. We must be innovative day after day. Ideally, you should not teach two classes, subsequent classes, the same content. Because so much new material has come up. And if those people are going to fit in employment, then they must be having that new information. So it's very, very important that we should also be continuously engaging employers. Chair, I found that the small nation called Mauritius, their university staff, the teaching staff, must spend time with industry. They have a prescribed time. They must spend time in the industry or their teaching license is not renewed. That helps the university and higher education instructors to be in touch with what the employers need. But as long as academia is separate from industry, or we just go there as visitors, we don't really understand. It is going to be difficult for us to tune skills, to tune attitudes, to tune these people to fit. I've also heard about the lack of other soft skills. I wish to confirm that indeed these skills are missing. The attitude, people think that as long as I have a job, I'm entitled to being paid. I don't have to deliver. That is so common that if I have a job, then I must be paid and paid a good salary, and anybody who demands that I produce results is a tyrant. That kind of attitude. And I believe that as an outcome of this conference, we are going to deliberate and see how we go back to the institutions and implement changes such that the production of such people with bad attitude stops. Because we have incorporated material and activities which help to shape their attitudes. So lastly, it's important for us to be able to prepare these people to transition from training to work. Internships are still quite few, limited to only a few courses. Where do people get good internship and mentorship? But also, when the job opportunities are few, because that is really the elephant in the room. The job opportunities are few. But I'll talk more about that in the keynote. It is now my singular honor and pleasure to declare the 5th Annual Higher Education Conference officially open.
Is the way which will improve employability and also increase employment. Why? Because innovation is what enables you to expand the economy. You can increase the economy a bit by increasing production of raw materials, but that reaches a point and it reaches a maximum, and you are working in only 10% of your economic potential, and that can equally only employ those people. And many of the jobs in raw material production are low quality jobs. So if we want to expand the economy so that we can create more employment opportunities, we must adopt science, technology, and innovation. And the education system has to enable that by looking at what they teach, what skills they give the people, such that from those we are able to actually start to practice science, technology, and innovation. Let me give an example. We have been training people in automotive engineering, like vehicles, but most of the training was just about repairing, higher quality repairing. So the person who learned from job does repair. The one who has a certificate is doing only repair. The one who did a diploma is doing only repair. Even those who did degrees, they were also doing repair. But when we started to innovate in that sector and start to make vehicles, now we have expanded. Within just a short time, we have created, currently we have 150 jobs that we have created. And when we open our factory, which we hope will happen in the second half of this year, we are going to quickly create 600 very high quality jobs. Now, for each of those are the primary ones. Then we hope to create 30,000 secondary jobs. Those are jobs which are being done by those entities that supply Chira Motors, just Chira Motors. So that way you create a lot of opportunities. And then the people who come from the education system have where to go. Also, innovation in the education itself, in the education system itself. It is required. We cannot continue teaching the way we taught. We cannot continue teaching what we have been teaching. Education itself requires innovation. The way we are delivering, we need to bring in a new content, we need to bring in the modern content, and that is the only way that we can enable people to be employable. To be employable, there must be an employment opportunity.
What is lacking in our graduates today? As in skills, behavior?
You see, when we say skills, we tend to think that if I've been trained in welding, I have skills. You have been trained in auto repair, I have skills. True, you have skills. But what is missing in most of our graduates is how do you take ideas to the market? Because right now we are operating in the 10% capacity of our sector. And if we just rotate there, skilling people there, and we are not enabling people to get out of there and go into value addition, where 90% of the value is, then even if those graduates have those skills and they can master how to grow coffee because I've had a skill in agriculture, but I'm not going to better other people or myself beyond a certain point. So the repertoire of skills, the skills in what I called a black box, we must open up that area, understand which knowledge is in that black box, which skills are in that black box, and then when we equip the graduates of our education system with those skills, we are just going to fly.
On the issue of the new curriculum, lastly from me, do you think the improved curriculum can help us solve the issue of unemployment? And how is it different from the old
This
curriculum?
curriculum is a good start. It's a good beginning for us to begin looking at education differently from what we had deteriorated into. We had really deteriorated into exams and results, and those exams don't link at all with life. You know, a child gets A, but they don't have any, they cannot use that knowledge for anything. They are just an academic giant. And they might even qualify into some profession, but they don't have the skill to make that profession work for them. So I might be a first class engineer, but then when I get out of there, what do I do? They look, the jobs they find, they think they are beneath them, but also that is very different from you actually being able to think and be creative and open up new areas in engineering. So the new curriculum is a good beginning for us to think, for us to build people who can think. And if we can build on that in the higher education, if we can build on that in the new curriculum, of course, the first group is going to sit this year. There is still a lot to learn, a lot of learning to do. When we have refined it and it is effective, I think it is going to be a good beginning. We definitely need to keep aligning the content with the future where opportunities are.
Okay.